Hello everyone, so today we're going to be installing this Hampton Bay motion sensing exterior wall lantern. This is meant for wet weather conditions, which is important here in Washington.
DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself. Today on DIY with Chris.
The other really good thing about this is it has the motion sensor on it, so we can just leave it on, and then whenever we traipse up onto the porch here, it'll flicker on. So this one is just a standard one with the light switch. So that's why we're going to be upgrading it, and so we're going to go ahead and start taking down the old one. So in order to do that, make sure that the power is off first, and then all of these fixtures are generally going to have some of these decorative nuts on them. So just take them off. You're going to want to save those. Most of these fixtures work just fine otherwise, and you can either sell them or relocate them. I'm going to clean this off. It has a lot of spiders and stuff in there, a lot of webbing, so I'm going to brush that off, and then we'll start undoing the wiring. Sorry it's a little bright out, so I put some sunglasses on. We're going to go ahead and start removing this. I've cleaned it now from the spiders, so we're just going to undo this back wall bracket. It won't have the light fall or anything. I always remove the old bracket so that just in case this light is only compatible with this one, it'll stay with it, and I like to have the original hardware with them. So I'm going to set this to the side here. It's pretty easy to do this. All you have to do is match up the same color wires. So this one, you'll see that this is the black wire coming down to the light, and the black wire coming out, that's generally your live wire on a wire nut. So we'll undo that one first. Again, make sure the power's off. The next one that we'll undo is going to be the white set, which is generally a load wire. So it just goes white to white. Undo that. And the last one is going to be the bare copper to bare copper, which is your ground. So we'll go ahead and undo that one. And at this point, we just have to unwrap these from the other wires. And the old light is now off. I'm going to salvage this bulb, and we'll end up putting it in the new one. But at this point, we can now start putting up our new one. For our new light, what you're going to have to do is, again, this has the decorative nuts. So we're going to remove it off the face here. Make sure that you store it really well. I also have we're standing on a deck, and I don't want it to fall in the holes. We've already lost some stuff that way, so you want to be very careful. So I'm going to put those in there. Now that we have those bolts off, you can pull this back bracket, the mounting bracket, off. The mounting bracket, you're going to need to make sure that these stay level as we put it back up on the wall. And there should be some, we'll use the screws that come with the actual mounting hardware on this. So you can turn this. That's why this is a really nice bracket system. A lot of them will have either this one or the other one that we took off. So you just make sure that these bolts are level, because that's how your light is going to sit. It sits right there on like that. So you do have your grounding bolt, and we can just take this grounding wire and wrap it around that and tighten it down. Otherwise, you can get a little pigtail that goes under the bolt and then wrap it up on that and do a wire nut. Depends on how you want to do it, but that is an option. So first thing you'll want to do is run your wiring through there, and then we'll make sure that that's level. And that's why these slots also run so long, is that if it is slightly off, you will be able to turn your base. Just don't tighten it all the way down until you do your final check. We're going to go ahead and start putting up the new one. So the mounting hardware we have for this, we have the 2 bolts. So I'm not going to tighten it down all the way just yet. There's where we're going to want it. So now that I've turned that, I'll go ahead and secure it into place. Now we can start at the wiring. So I'm going to pull this wiring bundle back out here. We're going to go ahead and start hooking these up. So we generally start with the ground. So you'll see on the back of this one, it does have this other red wire right here that is not included in normal installations as indicated here by the tag. That is for max 440 watts tungsten load. So we're gonna leave that. We don't have to actually deal with that. And I'm gonna start wrapping these around. So I'm gonna use some help right now and put on the wire caps. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I have them on. This time you'll see that I have the wiring done up. So again, you're just matching the cable colors. There's black to black right here at the wire cap, white to white right here at the wire nut. And then I have both of my grounds right here going to this. We didn't end up using the wire nut for that. So as soon as you have all those connected, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push these back in and out of the way so that this can actually sit flush. Put that back on, and we can put our nuts back on. Make sure you don't cross thread these. Make sure that those caps are nice and tight. We're going to double check and make sure that it's level. If it's not, we can adjust it from there. Now that we have it installed, there are a few switches here on either side. This first one on this side is the length of time that the light will stay on after all motion has stopped. So this is a 4-position switch. The first one is test, and then 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute are your intervals that you have available. So I have it on test right now because we're going to set it up to run a test on it. This other side is your sensitivity side. So this has a 3-position switch. This is low, medium, and high. Now in order to do the test according to the instructions, you need to put it on the medium position, on the M position. And then we're going to need to turn the breaker back on right now and allow this motion sensor to warm up for at least 90 seconds according to those instructions. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll try and run a test for you. Alright, so we turned it back on. We've waited a little bit. So it is on the test mode. So there is, it just turned off, and we're going to go ahead and trigger it again. Alright, so it caught the motion and it turned back on. So there it works. If you have any questions on this, please let us know. I'd greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe if you like this video or want to see any more. We do a lot of home projects that you can try and just follow the instructions instead of paying somebody to come out and do it. Feel free to go ahead and leave a comment down below if somebody's asked a question I haven't got back to them yet. If you know the answer, please go ahead and respond to them. That's the whole purpose of these videos, is it's a DIY community to help each other and save each other a little bit of money versus having somebody professional come out for some of these minor projects to do these items. So I hope that this video was informative for you and actually benefits you. If you liked it, please share it and have a great day.
DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself. Today on DIY with Chris.